Konnichiwa. Welcome to Nintendo Direct Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Switch. The call has been answered. It's time, baby, for another Nintendo Direct. Hey everybody, I'm Jammer. Welcome back to 2018 brand new channel updates. If you guys can't hear, I got a cool new mic. Did you guys hear the cool new microphone? We're getting professional up in here. We're upping the quality. We're gonna be Jammer Pro really HD. And over the past few days, even weeks, there has been so many rumors spun around of a Nintendo Direct coming up right around the corner. It's bound to be announced any minute now, so I figured might as well do myself a favor and record the prediction video early, so then I don't have to stress about it and worry once they announce. Because usually they're like, hey, it's up in like 2 days. See you then, dude. It's like, how can I do a video at that time? So here we are, again, as always, donning, it's a little wrinkly, donning the suit of justice to bring you my predictions for the January 2018 Nintendo Direct directory to you. It's been a while, dude. It's been a while. Now, let's rewind a year. Let's look at what we knew of the Switch a year from today, when they released their January Direct. Basically, where they revealed everything about the console, in exception to the obvious reveal trailer we got months prior, where really we got no explanation of what was going on in the trailer, just that it can dock, it can play multiplayer, there's basketball, Skyrim! So kind of taking that as an expectation going into this Direct, I feel like we can get a good judge for what we can kind of expect going into here. Now, at first glance, I was kind of like, holy crap. Like, what games are even coming up in 2018? I feel like every announcement that they've had so far has already been released. I was taking a leisurely scroll through the, upcoming release calendar on Nintendo's website to realize, well, there really isn't much lined up first party anyways coming out soon for the Nintendo Switch. I mean, we don't know. So like, it's obvious that this Nintendo Direct is coming. The year has finally come to a close with 2017. All their games are out. It's time ready to start pushing forward for the nearing and starting the second year and keeping the momentum of the Nintendo Switch. But upon like thinking about it a little bit more, we do actually know a good amount. Because at least on the website it did mention Kirby Star Allies, which was announced at E3. We later learned a little bit of additional information later in the fall. We know about Yoshi that's coming up, that we know that is a 2018 title. Know nothing about it other since, but we know it's kind of a follow-up to Woolly World. So those are at least two expectations so far going into this year, and something we'll definitely see at this Nintendo Direct. And kind of contrary to what happened last year, all we knew going into the Nintendo Direct, the Nintendo January Direct last year, was Breath of the Wild. That's the only thing we knew was coming out with the Switch. We saw other stuff. We saw Skyrim. We saw we weren't sure if it was a Mario Kart port or a new one. We saw some sort of either port or a sequel to Splatoon. We saw the Mario Odyssey. And obviously at the time it was all speculation. We did not know all those games were coming out that year. We had no idea for that matter. So really, if you think about it at its core, we only went into that previous Direct knowing at least one title for sure was coming out that year. And at least from what we could tell, probably a few of the ones shown off in the reveal trailer would be included. So already we're lined up with more titles than that going into it. And that's not even mentioning other games that haven't really gotten much spotlight since, that have just been name dropped or talked about briefly at E3, such as the new Pokemon title going to be worked on it. I know the Fire Emblem game that they mentioned as well. There's a mainline Fire Emblem title coming up. In addition to some other third-party stuff like, Bayonetta 3, where they had that very small trailer back at the Game Awards. So from here, I think that's a good start, a good kicking off point for what we can kind of expect going into this Direct. I would say keep expectations low. Don't shoot for the moon. Like, I think the Yoshi, the Kirby game, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, oh yeah, and I guess Metroid was name dropped at E3 as well. The thing is, a lot about these games that were just name dropped and didn't really give a specific date of 2018, I'm not entirely certain we're going to be seeing them because they might not be coming out this year. For example, Metroid Prime 4, I would be so shocked. I would be so shocked if it comes out this year. I would eat my tie. I don't want to eat my tie. I would be very happy. I'd be so freaking blown away if Metroid Prime 4 is coming this year. Don't get me wrong. But it did not seem like it when they showed it off at E3. I mean, if all they had was a logo to show off. I mean, look at Yoshi, Kirby, which will assumedly be coming out this year, in exception to if there's any delays, of course, which Yoshi and Kirby have been announced for this year, while Metroid Prime was not, instead just showing the logo. Kind of leaves credence to it. Well, maybe we'll see more eventually, not until later this year at E3, but I really wouldn't expect the game to be coming out until at least late 2019. I think there's still early development there. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't really think Metroid Prime is going to have any sort of presence at this Direct, if at all they'll even name drop it. I really think that this is going to be focusing on more stuff coming up in this spring, leading up until E3, to then where they can make more announcements there that'll follow out the rest of the year. That seems like what Nintendo's been doing the past few years anyways, and it's how it worked out last year for this past Switch first year thing. Metroid, gone. Yoshi, I think we'll get a release date. Okay, that's done. We'll obviously see some more stuff. We'll get a better explanation of how this game is going to be going. If there's going to be like a co-op mode, kind of like in Woolly's World, maybe. Maybe some sort of seasonal release date. I kind of feel like it's a spring title, but so do I think the Kirby one is, and I don't feel like they'll be right next to each other, you know? So perhaps Yoshi could be like a midsummer or late, early fall, late summer type deal thing, while the Kirby game could be May or something like that. I could see something similar to that, but really, who's to say? We know they're coming out, and more than likely, those two games are definitely going to be shown off. We know the most about the Kirby game so far, so that's why I kind of feel like that's going to be the game that comes out the soonest. My expectation being, you know, a mid-spring release is definitely something reasonable to aim for. I don't know. April? Even April actually makes a lot of sense, too. Okay, Fire Emblem. Now, all we knew is that, well, it's happening. When they really showed off Fire Emblem Warriors, talked about it being on both 3DS and almost called it Wii U, Nintendo Switch. They mentioned, hey, don't worry, a mainline Fire Emblem title is going to come to Nintendo Switch, in 2018. So this could be a time to show it off. Typically, Fire Emblem games for the past few years have been coming out in the spring in, I believe, March? No, late March, early April, give or take. I think maybe Echoes might have been May. I could be mistaken, though. Point being, that has been the typical release time for Fire Emblem titles. However, because as little as we have seen of this, I mean, we don't even have a real name, let alone a logo, which that'll be probably something we will see in this Direct. I don't think we'll be seeing a release date coming up within the next few months. I would be very surprised, don't get me wrong. But I could actually see a very similar release date to how Fire Emblem Warriors handled it, where it is the month of September or even mid-October, something like that. It would make sense to kind of slot it in with the typical Fire Emblem release date as they've been doing the past few years, but I just don't know if it's realistic. I feel like just because as little as we have seen of that games like Kirby or even potentially Yoshi might fill in the spring slots just because we know more about it. Then again, goes for Bayonetta 3 even. I mean, I still feel like it's still a ways out in development, but who really knows? They have their ports coming out for 1 and 2, Bayonetta 1 and 2 on February, mid-February, I think like the 20th, something like that. So those are coming out. At first, I would be thinking I'm crazy that Bayonetta 3 would be coming out this year too. But at the same time, I feel like Platinum can pull it off. I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that Bayonetta 3 can, they might release it this year. When I first, toyed with the idea and talked about it in previous videos, talking about Bayonetta 3 ever happening, I'm like, it's probably still a little ways off. They might announce it this year and then come out the following. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel the energy. Maybe this could be just a weird gut thing. I have no idea. But I could see Bayonetta coming out, before the holiday season, but, in the mid-fall area, to be honest. I know it's a game a lot of people are excited for, and it's an awesome another awesome third-party Nintendo Switch exclusive. Alright, now let's get into some fun stuff. Stuff that we don't know is coming, but kind of think is coming. It might come. Predictions, the fun predictions. Not stuff we already know and is expected. Easy stuff. Let's get a little crazy. Let's go think a little outside the box of what, because there's going to be surprises. There has to be. There's definitely a lot in this coming year that they really haven't filled out the lineup for. I mean, obviously there's still plenty of time to announce stuff. At E3 even, of course. But I really feel like we're going to get we need a bulk of stuff for this spring. Because even all the titles that I did list, you know, Metroid, no way. Fire Emblem, I think it's going to be a lot later than we expect. Kirby and Yoshi are really the only two that seem like they could be any close releases to present, you know? I don't think that's really what they're going to be starting 2018 with, though. I mean, they're going to be closing out their first year of the Switch, which is kind of weird to think that's not actually the year anniversary until March. So they still technically are on the first year of the Switch these next few months. So technically, if they boot out a few more games in between then and now, they'll still count in the first year of the Switch's life cycle, which is kind of weird to think. So in all reality, the first year of the Switch might be even better than it already is. Because it feels like the first year is already over, but we still have a few more months, so you never know what they might throw in there. We've been talking about this for literally years. Miyamoto stated in an interview that this game was done. Pikmin 4, dude! It has to be on the Switch at this point. It has to. There's no way they canceled it already because Miyamoto in the interview stated that Pikmin 4 is done or nearing completion. Something along the lines of that. Point being that where the heck is that game, dude? I'm a huge Pikmin fan. I really hope and cannot wait for a Pikmin 4, like straight up. And I think the Switch would be a perfect way to play it, especially if you're able to do sideways Joy-Cons and be able to play 2-player on-the-go bingo battle. Like, oh man. Oh man. Bingo battle is one of my favorite 2-player versus modes, and being able to play that, I mean, it might be a little wonky. There should be enough buttons. I'm not entirely sure. It will be a bummer. I will admit that there's no, the pointer aiming from the Wii is going to be dropped, unfortunately, because obviously, I mean, how are you going to incorporate this? There's a way to simulate the pointer controls with the Joy-Con, I know. I don't know if that's the route they'll actually go, though. I think they're going to take more advantage of the hardware of the Switch, if it's actually on the Switch. No point in dwelling on it anymore. We don't actually even know it's going to be there. But if it is, it's about gosh dang time. Like, that might be a game that is ready and done, and they could definitely throw on the Switch, you know. But who knows? Who really knows, right? And this is a big one. Virtual Console, this has been thrown around 1,000 jillion times. People have been dying for it. And I'm like, dude, there are so many great games already on the Switch. Do you really need Mario Bros. Again? Or do you really need whatever? However, actually going back and playing a lot of my Super Nintendo Mini? What's it called? Super Nintendo no, oh my god, Super Nintendo. Why am I know that I said it right. It just sounds Super Nintendo. Oh, it's SNES. That's why I was forgetting the E. Okay, whatever. I've been playing that a good amount over the past fall and actually having it, whatever. And every time I play a game, I'm like, you know, this is fun. But I wouldn't actually mind playing this game on the Switch. So, this might be a time they could start talking about it. I still think it's too soon. I honestly think they'll hold it back even longer. As much as it's driving people crazy, I don't think it's the time yet. I think they have other stuff to talk about, other Switch titles to talk about. I don't know if it's time to start incorporating the older titles into the Switch's library yet. I mean, I know we've had rumors of GameCube stuff for like a long time while. I feel like whatever they're working on with the Virtual Console, they're gonna come and swing in hard. I feel like it's not gonna be some soft launch where it's like, hey, like when they did with the Wii U and the Wii titles. They're like, hey, Wii titles are on Wii U now for Virtual Console. Buy these 3 games. I think Nintendo's kind of learned the lesson over the years that the drip feed of Virtual Console isn't the most ideal scenario, at least especially when it's starting off brand new. And I think the Virtual Console is going to be a money maker because I know a lot of lapsed Nintendo fans are picking up the Switch finally again. And this and a library of a lot of Virtual Console games are really going to bring in more players to buy, you know, play more stuff, play more games, and continue to use their console more. So it's definitely important. It's a thing that's going to happen eventually, but I don't know if it's time yet. One of the reasons being of which that I don't think they're going to be rolling out the online paid service just yet. I think they're I know they talked about delaying it. They didn't give any numbers or they didn't give really a date on it. They really, initially it was the first month of January 2018 that they're going to roll out the pay to play online. And that could still be the case. But from what I've heard from rumors and, you know, colleagues who like have had contacts or whatever, it sounds like to me that it's going to be held back a little bit longer, which I think is fine. It only benefits the consumer more, right? Because then you don't have to pay for the online. But at the same time, I mean, whatever is going to be coming with that online product is more likely going to be a better online experience. I mean, fingers crossed, right? So if they talk about it at all, which I don't think they would, they might mention that maybe stay tuned for later date, or maybe you can look forward to it being rolled out later this summer or something like that. I feel like if I had to put a guess on it, I don't think it'll be talked about in this direct, but if I had to put a guess on when they'll start rolling that out, I think it'd be around the year anniversary of the Switch, so in the March timeframe, or even later to maybe the start of that summer. Besides, I mean, who cares? I'm okay with the free online for now, so I mean, take your time, Nintendo. Make that system really awesome, and then I'll be willing to pay for it, right? I'd rather them do that than rather roll out something really crappy or keep it exactly as it is, but just make us pay money for it, you know? No thanks. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's talk about the elephant in every room. At every freaking Nintendo Direct, Game of the Year, Game of the Awards, everything, anything Nintendo Switch.
Time for a special announcement.
Smash. And this is a thing I've been back and forth and back on. For a while, it was, you know, maybe Smash 5, maybe it was the Smash 4 port, maybe an enhanced port with new characters or whatever, maybe just a vanilla port with no changes, Smash 5 again. It's all over the place. Almost deserves, again, its own video because it's such a controversial topic. I don't think it's time yet again. It's gonna piss people off because I know that's all they ask for every freaking Nintendo Direct. I don't think it's time to announce Smash yet. I do think it's coming. In what form? I'm actually uncertain now. I used to be pretty confident in one over the other, kind of flip back and forth a little bit, but now I'm not sure. just because we've heard as little as we have about it. It would kind of make sense though if they did just bring the port over. I think it's going to be a lot easier process rather than building something from the ground up, and which I'm totally fine with them doing as well. In addition to that, I still think like if they did something along the lines of that, it would be some sort of big new mode for the Switch version of the game. Like that game's Smash Run or Smash Tour, it'll be its whatever, you know. Then of course it'll bring over like maybe a merge of content for both Wii U and 3DS of stages. Maybe some being exclusive to each version. But I still think the rosters will be the same. And if any new characters come on the Switch, they'll be timed exclusive to then when they can later be paid DLC both on Wii U and 3DS. Just to bring in the new audience and bring people over to buy the new version, and then not leave the other versions behind. Because that was a big thing during the development period. That was a big thing during the development period of that game, was make sure 3DS and Wii U were equal. No version was technically better than the other, so each could have the same player experience. And I think that'll be the same for if they try to decide to port that to the Switch. If it's a new Smash 5, then I think we're not going to be hearing for it even longer. That would be E3 news. I really think whatever we're going to be hearing is going to be focused more on these first 6 months of 2018, leaving really out holiday stuff. I mean, we did see holiday stuff in the last year. I mean, we did see Mario Odyssey and stuff like that, which pseudo-holiday. I mean, we did even see Xenoblade 2 as well. So, I mean, I could be totally wrong. They could show off stuff later in the year as well. But it might be smarter of them to focus on stuff coming up now. Because a lot of people are new owners of the Switch after a few weeks ago from Christmas and holidays and whatever. And so they really need to give those new fans, those new people into this little community of this system, something to look forward to short term. So Smash, I don't think it's going to be this time, but eventually, guys, don't worry. What else? What else? What else? They might touch on some stuff that's already on the Switch. Like, I don't think they would do, like, Xenoblade 2 DLC or something like that. But I could see them doing another Splatoon update. I mean, they just barely did a recent one with, like, a big, pretty big, expansive one. But if they plan on rolling out something similar to, like, you know, an Octoling, something like that, something big enough, warranting or worth being in a direct like this, something to continue that game's lifespan going, I think that we could see something like that similar here. And I'm not entirely sure. I personally think they should emphasize all on the new. But also at the same time with the announcement of ARMS content being finished after the end of that year, Splatoon still continues to go throughout this year anyways, and so there definitely could be something to be, hey, here's a little sizzle reel to look forward to for what you can expect throughout the rest of this year. What else do we got? What else do we got? I know a lot of people are begging for Mario Odyssey DLC. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we can expect some Amiibo announcements though. I saw someone mentioning that they're gonna freaking announce a new line of Smash Bros. Amiibo alongside like a Smash Switch of all the Player 2 Amiibos. And I'm like, no way, dude. I do not want any more Amiibos of Smash. I can't. I'm too addicted. I have all of them except for King Dedede. He's evasive, dude. It's like, no more. Dude, no more Smash lines. I can't keep buying. No! But it would make sense if they actually did something. I mean, I guess there isn't as many Player 2s coming up, in exceptions like a female villager, like an Alpha. Nope, Lucina doesn't know. Nope, Lucina is her own character. Yep, she is her own character. You know, I guess that's it. I don't think there's anything else. That's it. Bye. Guess that's it. Thanks for watching. It's been fun. There's not much room down here, so I really can't go any farther. You thought it was over? No way. It's a Nintendo Direct, so of course you gotta predict Animal Crossing every time, right? This one I'm a little actually uncertain about. I've been predicting Animal Crossing almost every freaking time, saying Animal Crossing Switch, win, win, win. And of course, we know that the mobile app will have some sort of cross whatever with this game, the one game that's been name dropped like whenever ago. Originally we thought maybe for Wii U, then we're like maybe no, it's probably Switch or NX at the time. It's a mess. It's a messy situation. But you know what? I think it's finally time. 2018, I think Animal Crossing is coming. I mean, because we've heard some hearsay, not a lot, but at the same time, it's like, what else could they bring to the Switch? Can 2018 even top? The thing is, like, I see a lot of people saying, like, 2018 is gonna be even better than 2017 for the Switch. And I'm like, dude, how? Even if 2018 for the Nintendo Switch is only half as good as last year for the Nintendo Switch, it'll be a phenomenal year. It'll be an amazing year. Even if it's a half as good. Half as good. Zelda, dude. Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade, Splatoon 2. Like, those 4 games alone. That's not including Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Fire Emblem Warriors, which I had a lot of fun with. Tons of different third-party stuff. So if Nintendo somehow can outdo themselves again this year, I will again eat my tie. And I don't want to because I think it's pretty expensive. And I only have 2. I've talked about Animal Crossing a countless billion jillion times at this point. Dedicated plenty of videos to it. But to kind of recap what I could expect them to maybe even show off here. Typically Animal Crossing, or at least New Leaf anyways, came out like around the beginning of the summer. And I could see something similar here where it does come out in like May, right before E3, or something like that. And then that's the game that people can play throughout the summer, in addition to whatever game that come out after E3 or whatever. I don't know. It's Nintendo. Can you even predict Nintendo sometimes? They're all over the place. They can do whatever they want. You predict one thing, they do the other thing. Overall, I think I'm just looking forward to just something new. I want to go in with pretty low expectations, and hope you guys take a page and do so as well, just because I want to be surprised. I've had so much fun at these last few Nintendo Directs, of course E3 as well, where I'm like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I'm sure they'll talk about this or this. We kind of know what to expect. There's of course series that we want a new entry in, yada yada. But you never want to hype yourself up for like a freaking new Paper Mario, and then when they announce it, it's the worst game they've ever... But what are your thoughts on this Nintendo Direct coming up 2018 January, probably in the next few days? I don't really know. Put that in the comments. Let me know. Join the discussion. Let's chat. Let's talk about it. Let's hear your thoughts. I was a little safe this time, a little conservative with predictions, not going too wild, I guess. For kind of the reason that we only really know what we do going in, but I feel like whatever I do predict, they're gonna throw a curveball. I feel like Nintendo has a lot tucked up their sleeves still. Like predicting an Animal Crossing, a Pikmin 4, that's predictable. That's easy stuff. I'm sure thousands of people have already said it on this platform alone. So I really think Nintendo's gonna shock people. I mean, ARMS, we never saw coming, and it ended up being one of the most unique fighters I've ever played, I think there's gonna be stuff like that coming up. I think there's gonna be more stuff taking advantage of the new hardware of the Switch, the HD Rumble, the split Joy-Cons, being able to do 2-player co-op with them, being able to, the motion controls, whatever. I think there's going to be some experimental ways. This is, now that people have been sold on the Switch with more traditional control schemes for games like Mario Odyssey, you could play regular button controls, same with Zelda, Splatoon, whatever. And I know that's always been a complaint of people, like that Nintendo goes too gimmicky. But now that they've kind of sold people on the console, brought them in with more standard-ish stuff, I guess, obviously it's more unique. Like maybe this is the time to start experimenting more. Maybe take some of the ideas from 1-2 Switch that didn't really land very well, that was more just like a tech demo than anything, and actually incorporate them into actually fulfilling gaming experiences. I know I asked for comments earlier and went on more, but I just had to put that in there too. Thank you again for giving this video a like. I really appreciate you. Didn't? Why not? Dude, I put the suit on. It's hot in here. I had to freaking tie this tie. It's all over the place. I grew out the Justice beard and everything. You didn't? Dude, it takes like a second. Just click it. I'll help you. Okay, put your cursor here. You ready? Oh wait, where's the like button? Actually, let's bring it back up. Hold on, I missed. Yeah. That might be the subscribe button. But while you're there, you can click it. I don't know. I'll definitely be doing a reaction to this Nintendo Direct once it's out. Depending on what they announce, I don't know. If it's like certain trailers, I don't really like doing the whole thing depending on how long it is, But it really depends. It depends on what they announce. I'll obviously do an immediate impressions video where I just chat and talk to you guys about what the heck even happened. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun, and this should be a great year with the new microphone. The new microphone. Hey everybody, this is Jammer with some ASMR. And eventually what you're looking at, will be upgraded. I did get something new, but it sucks. So I'm going to be going to the store, actually after this video. I'm going to be going to the store and hopefully exchanging or getting something better, or at least doing some research and replacing this to Jammer Pro Ultra HD, baby. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.